Hello, hello, hello. Hey. Let me see if I can pull this up here. What's up, man? It's your main man, AB the Hero. We bike. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I wanted to hop on here, man, just to chat for a little bit, but let me make sure everything is squared away on the bike end. Yeah. As y'all come in here, let me know where you tapped in from. Let me know where you tapped in from and hitting that like button as well. Let's do that. What's up? Yeah, okay. I think we live right now on both Twitch and YouTube. So shout out if you tapped in from either one of those spots. Yeah, hold on. I need Miles Bridges news. Charlotte Hornets fan here. What's up, Eric Schaefer? We're gonna get into it. We'll look it up. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I've been out the way. Yeah, I'm low, okay. Yeah, the island out here is remote, okay. I ain't worried about no reaper. I'm reaping what I sow, okay. Hellcat. So let me know what's the latest with Miles Bridges. Throw that in the chat right now from what you heard. Cause what I heard is my man is he open to some opportunities right now. He open to opportunities. All right, here we go. Damn, let me pull this. Ronzo, what's happening? Good to see you, bro. It's good to be out here, man. It's good to hop back on here and go live for a second. Hayden or some other, I really don't know about that. If he with some other chick, I do want to start this bad boy off by talking about your boy Bronny. I think that's something pressing or interesting enough to talk about. I was watching, let me see if I can find it real quick. I saw this clip from before the draft. And it was one of these YouTubers talking about Bronny. He said something that I found I was like, damn, that's actually kind of interesting. So I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about the fact that when it comes to your boy Bronny, what LeBron was able to accomplish with Bronny is the same thing that they was trying to do with Jello, but Magic Johnson didn't have the keys to the franchise like we thought he might have in order to get that done on his own. We got to talk a little bit about the WNBA, which is it's jumping right now. You ain't watching the WNBA, you behind the times. You missing something. They doing their thing over there. It's entertaining. They got the whole Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark saga going. NBA All-Stars, snubs, or All-Star selections, Olympic team snubs, all of that stuff.
Feel like we go do it when it's convenient.
Yeah, there we go. I got that pulled up. All right. I appreciate that. We got 7 viewers in here, 4 likes. That's a nice ratio, man. I appreciate that. Let's see. Bridges, hopefully. Can I still pin this? Add the broadcast. There we go. Bridges hopefully will re-sign with the Hornets, but it's possible he wants too much money and will be a sign and trade. I just hope Hornets don't get fleeced. I will say this. Miles Bridges is a unique case because obviously we know what happened to him a couple years ago, right? And when the drama with him went down a couple years ago, he was in position where he had bet on himself and won. It was you know how you at the casino and are you supposed to stay on 16 in blackjack? You're supposed to stay. Especially when the dealer's showing the 10. You're supposed to stay. But every now and again, you feeling lucky and you get a hit and then you 21. And the reason why you do that is because you just don't win. You get like one times a half, I believe, on that winnings, right? Or 2 times a half, something like that. You get more than you would have if you would have just stayed. And so he bet on himself, but he fumbled the bag as well because he bet on himself and then did something crazy, and essentially they threw him out of the casino. Let's see what boy Miles Bridges, man. Oh, what's this? This is from a while back. Let's try. Bad. All right. So, but let's do this before we get into this Miles Bridges talk. We'll come back to that. Man, I want to get into just this whole idea, man. I don't want to say I appreciate everybody who tapped in right now, right? I don't expect it to be a ton of folks because we have not been consistent with going live. We got 18 views, 6 people in here right now, but I want to say I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'm gonna try to get back here for y'all, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of stuff done changed. Your boy expecting, I got a son on the way, due date July 29th coming up, so in a couple of weeks, you feel me? So we kind of been getting things ready for that, and just amongst a bunch of other things with life and trying to hustle and get to the bag. But this is one of those things that I feel like I have to consistently do, because this YouTube thing it's not only like, you know, if you do it right, it's a source of income, but it's also an opportunity to be expressive, creative, and it's also a community that you end up building up. So we'll get to that and all that stuff. So I appreciate y'all who tapped in. Jump in the chat. I might, in this little system that I'm using here, there is some way that you can that I can like add some folks in. So if you want to join the conversation, let me know, and we'll see what we can do and bring some people in. But let's start off here talking about Miles Bridges, since that came up first in the chat. And to me, I also think this Miles Bridges conversation is interesting because the Hornets, out of any team in the league, is one that's in position to be fleeced from a talent like Miles Bridges. I mean, not from a talent like Miles Bridges, but for a talent like Miles Bridges. I saw something the other day. Man, I wish I knew which Instagram account it was, but essentially they talked about that the draft class with Book Knight and the kid who kind of went a little crazy. Kai Jones, there it is. The Kai Jones, I saw something about this draft class, and essentially like everybody from this draft class is off the team already. And it just, to me, speaks to a little bit of this concern here about the Hornets being fleeced. Like they are easily in position to make a bad decision with a cat like Miles Bridges, who definitely has, in most people's eyes, I would believe, redeemed himself. As far as coming back to the league and being on the straight and narrow path, not getting into any more drama since all of that drama happened, playing at a high level, even though he was out for a half a season or was it a season and a half? I think he has earned the contract. But if we go back to when Miles Bridges was when he was on getting ready to get that bag, one of the big things is that he was in place to sign a really big deal, and he fleeced himself out of that big deal. Red's base. What's happening? Appreciate you tapping in. Long time subscriber, been around for a long time on the channel. So shout out to the OGs. But you got your man Miles Bridges here. Let's see what we got. Cavaliers could pursue a sign and trade from Miles Bridges. Hornets free agency news. Let's tap in here. Miles Bridges could be a Clipper soon. Here's the tough part also with a lot of this, with these players, right? Is I think like when you run into a cat like Miles Bridges, or you've been following the team for a while, right? Not only do you want them to re-sign with your squad, right? I would love to see Miles Bridges come back and get the bag with the Hornets, right? But when you look at how the Hornets consistently fumble the bag, there's a part of me that would love to see Miles Bridges have the PJ Washington sort of like, hey man, you deserve it. You hung around that bum franchise for a while, and now you deserve to play in the NBA championship, right? And so Miles Bridges going to be a Clipper, especially now that they got rid of Kawhi Leonard, is a vibration. That's a blessing for Miles Bridges. Now, is the bag gonna be the same as you would hope he would get to stay in Buzz City? No. But Miles Bridges, bro, go play with Kawhi and compete for a championship finally for one time in your career. Take a deep run into the playoffs with them Clippers. You deserve it. I would love to see that for him. Now, at the same time, I would love to see him re-sign and get the bag, because we know he bet on himself and was in position to secure the bag. He decided to take the hit on 16. He 21'd it. And then he messed around and the dealer had 21 as well. It's a push. So you don't all the way lose, but you get an opportunity to play again. He came back to the blackjack table and maybe not hit 21 again, but he definitely won the hand. And so now he want to be paid out. And I think for that, he deserves to be paid out. They say Kai Jones is a Clipper, so he's still around. Kai Jones is another one of these Hornets who he stayed the course, did whatever he needed to do, and then secured his second opportunity. I'd love to see that for Book Night, because obviously we know his time in Charlotte didn't pan out well. So that whole crew, I hope that they get another opportunity. There's something. Let me try to find this clip. I'm gonna try to find it. It's a clip. I'm not gonna be able to find it. I already know. I would pull it up, but there's a clip that I heard from LaMelo. I was watching some stuff the other day. I was going to do a video about Jello and Bronny and the comparison that is there. And let me see. I probably will still try to find it. But he said something prophetic, and he said something that I was like, man, I definitely have said that before. I don't want to say you know how you do the stuff. A lot of YouTubers be like, yo, definitely caught that bar from me. But about LiAngelo Ball. And it's not super prophetic. Like, it should be a clip that just should make sense to most people, because like if we all put ourselves in a lot of these situations, like it's easy to understand. But let me mute my sound effects here while we play this. Is this it? Let me find it. I don't think that this is it, because this one is a little happy.
What were conversations like with LiAngelo when you saw that he wasn't going to be on the training camp roster? Just kind of,
still talks with him and stuff. Like, basketball never stops, so obviously keep working and then just wait for that call.
Were you bummed he wasn't going to make you guys training camp?
Yeah, definitely, but yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know on that one. Just keep working.
You still able to fight for number one, or is it two?
Yeah, we trying to every day, man. We trying to every day. I just put a little post up, but they made me take it down because it had the one on it. So I don't know.
That ain't it. I mean, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to find it. Let me see. LaMelo Ball. But essentially, it was about how. All right, here we go. This might be it.
LaMelo, welcome back. Foul drawings, or just kind of elaborate on that process.
Yeah, it's supposed to get to that. We had like a couple meetings, but it's supposed to see him more on down the line. And then for the whole summer, yeah, it been cool for real. Just out here working out. Probably went to Cali like twice just to see the family, and that was it.
And just one more question on that process. Is it looking at film from last year and seeing where you can do better, or is it just adding strength? What is kind of the focal points of that? Or are you just not too far into it yet?
Everything for real. So, film from last year, we go over with Cliff still. I mean, film from the practices that we had so far, little 5-on-5 open gyms and stuff. Just all of it for real.
Have you received any input yet, and what maybe you need to do differently?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the whole process of watching the film and stuff, it's all pretty much input, or what you could do better, or what you did good, just everything just to help,
LaMelo, coach talked about one thing in your game that he'd like to maybe see more is getting to the free throw line more. What do you think you need to do to get more calls and get to the line more and develop the game?
Pretty much.
What do you expect from this team this year, man? This is obviously your third year now. You're a little more comfortable with things. Just what do you expect from the team?
Expectations on. I just take it game by game, go into every game, try to win that one. So.
Entire team as well for you to kind of step up a little bit.
Yeah, together. We just need all. Yeah, I mean, it's two different people, so definitely different. But other than coming in and every day.
Just wondering how much have you talked to him, and how much do you miss him out of here? You guys certainly have a great game.
Yeah, definitely miss him. Talking to him day and day, just seeing what it is. But other than that, I haven't really heard too much or anything.
I think that's Miles Bridges.
How much of a blow would that be if he is not here?
Coach mentioned in terms of him coming back to the program and working with.
Yeah, I feel like it's a big process. That's probably the main one. I feel like we all need to buy in, because we got a lot of great talent, but everybody can't have 50 or something like that. So we all just gonna have to make it work, put it together, and get the best outcome out of that. So definitely buy in.
You've been playing with LiAngelo
older brother for pretty much your whole entire life. How does it feel now, given him being signed to the Hornets, playing with him on the NBA level?
Oh yeah, that's a blessing for real. Hopefully he can make the whole thing. You know, keep him on the team for real. That'd be a blessing.
Yeah, just to pick up on that a little bit. Obviously, you know, he played Summer League last couple of years with the team and everything. Just what's it like to kind of see Jello just try to still go after the dream, make the NBA team basically right now.
Say the last part for me wrong.
See Jello try to make the NBA team. Just that's his dream right now.
Right. Yeah. No, it's great to watch. I mean, just seeing a human, you know, for something they really want, work for their whole life, just working so hard. It's honestly a blessing to watch for real, and it just could mean that much more when you really make it and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you guys overall as a team, but the way the season ended for you guys.
Honestly, a blessing to watch for real. Something they really want. Yeah. No, it's great to watch. I mean, just seeing a human, you know, for something they really want, work for their whole life, just working so hard. It's honestly a blessing to watch for real, and it just could mean that much more when you really make it and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we did all of that just to find that one clip, and I wanted to play that because, to me, that clip when we start talking about the Kai Jones, the Book Knights, what was his name, Bailey, and everybody, JT Thor. To me, it's a big deal because once you see these guys make the team, have some success and all of that stuff, the big thing that we realized is the common denominator is this is something that they have been working to for a long time. And so you want to see them do well, right? And so when we look at Miles Bridges and we see that there's some opportunity to possibly secure the bag and play for the Clippers, hey, you know what, Miles, man, I want to see you do good. You feel me? Like, I know you're from Detroit or at least Michigan, I would say, but don't lead the Hornets to go up to Detroit. They're struggling as a franchise right now. Don't do that. If you got to get out of Charlotte, Miles, then take yourself over to the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? Go play for a contender. You probably would like Detroit better than you would like Cleveland, but Miles Bridges, Donovan Mitchell backcourt would be sensational. In the words of Future. I'd love to see you do that, bro. Go have one of them moves, and then if you can't re-sign, otherwise, go ahead and get as much money as you can out of this Hornets front office because they definitely owe you the bag. Because Miles Bridges has not only played at a high level, he has made their number one asset in LaMelo Ball feel good. And been a partner in crime. And if LaMelo ever decides to leave, the Miles Bridges relationship is going to be one of the reasons why he might even reconsider. So just that bit of value that you added to the team, to me, is one that I feel like he deserves to kind of stick around for. But Miles, do what you got to do, man. Secure the bag. Let's see. Let's talk about something else here. All right. Let me see. Here goes something that I've been on heavy duty. And I would love to hear y'all opinion on this if y'all got an opinion. I would love to hear y'all opinion on this if you have one. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. Now, to me, this is good. The Rookie of the Year conversation is starting to heat up. I would say we're not even halfway through the season and not even at All-Star break. They've had 2 Rookies of the Month. First month was Caitlin Clark. Second month was Angel Reese. Are y'all tapped in with this? It's four of us in here watching right now. 7 thumbs up, which I appreciate. 5 of us. You're Sacco in the building. So I'm interested. We having this conversation. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. I want to hear y'all thoughts and on this heated rivalry that's brewing. And the interesting part is they both made the All-Star team. And the way that the format is set up this year, they'll be on a team together. Sacco say Angel Reese just jealous of her popularity. Who is her? Is she jealous of her own popularity? Is that what you're saying? Or you mean jealous of Caitlin's popularity? But yeah, so they on the All-Star team together. And what I heard folks say is, like, folks gonna have brain meltdown. Hello, there we go. We still on. U-turn and Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese debate. Let me see. So I hadn't even seen this. Let's look at this real quick. It says Jason Whitlock makes a huge U-turn in Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese debate. I got the ad blocker. Hold on, let me see this. Let me fix this real quick. Refresh the page. Stop it. Alright. There we go. We had to turn on the ads. We want folks to get their bread. Angel Reese has a real case to be crowned the WNBA Rookie of the Year ahead of Caitlin Clark, says Jason Whitlock. Now, this is important because Jason Whitlock, many moons ago, essentially said that she was trash, overrated, and didn't deserve to be in the same conversation. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he was saying. Overrated in the past before talking to me. Criticism inspired, yeah. So, I don't know. So, I see that. I do see this a lot, though. There's a lot of folks who initially was not a fan of Angel Reese, who, like my man Sacco, really credited her existence and notoriety to just the conflicts between her. This is why you turn the ads off. Because look at how much stuff just popped up on the screen compared to before. But a lot of folks really wasn't feeling her, right? And obviously, Caitlin Clark has the bigger fan base, but Angel Reese has a swelling fan base as well. And one of the things that I feel like they always say when they're talking about the press and the media and marketing is any news is good news, right? Anytime your name is in the mix, it's a positive situation, and we starting to see that with Angel Reese. If she gets a lot of hate from Caitlin Clark fans, and the reality becomes, if you are at least known by as many people who knows the most popular person in the world, then like you still known by a lot of people. And so she has essentially been able to leverage that in by hooping and starting to turn some of those people over into fans of her own. All right, let me go back here. We ain't gonna read this art. I might have to do a video specifically about the Jason Whitlock commentary on this situation. Look at this. Rookie rankings: Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark battling for the top spot. To me, this also becomes an interesting conversation because Caitlin Clark was the number 1 overall draft pick, and there was not many. Let's collapse this. There was not many draft boards. I didn't see any that had Angel Reese as the number 2 pick. Even her teammate Camila Cardoza. Hope I would tell y'all been subscribed to this channel for a while. You know that when you go these last names and these names, they not your boy. They not easy for me. I'm from the South, Tallahassee, Florida. But so Camilla and Angel, Camilla was drafted first. I do believe that Camilla's initial injury helped Angel Reese in a little bit be able to establish herself, because I could see a world in which if you Chicago, you begin to put a little bit more investment into your 4th overall pick than your 7th overall pick. But when your 4th overall pick is out and your 7th overall pick is in and hooping, when your 4th overall pick comes in, they become the 8th overall pick. So there's something there. But let's see. I will say this to you. If you look at the thumbnail here, I mean not the thumbnail, but the graphic, the cover graphic here, is a picture of Angel Reese. And when you look at the thing here, WNBA rookie rankings, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark battle for the top spot. This is either one or two things happening. Either the tide has shifted within the media and they're saying, you know what, actually, Angel Reese might get some clicks too. She might be getting the double clicks because she getting the hater clicks and she getting the like clicks. Or they're saying, we would put Caitlin here because you know that's going to get the most clicks, but we don't really want to stir up the pot and then we'll get the hate from people saying like, damn, why y'all put Caitlin when Angel Reese was just rookie of the month, all of that whole narrative there. So a lot could be going on into this selection here. But here we go. Oh, this is interesting. WNBA All-Stars for the year. Did any of y'all vote? I was tapped in with the vote. Aaliyah Boston is, I don't want to say she is lucky. That's not the word. Aaliyah Boston is probably the biggest beneficiary of the Caitlin Clark boost to the WNBA, because her votes for All-Star went up a ton. And essentially, if you're an Indiana Fever fan, which has been the most watched team across the board within the WNBA, it's so easy to vote Caitlin Clark and then say, who else do I know? Aaliyah Boston, obviously, and then get that. And then your girl Kelsey Mitchell down here, who, from being a Fever fan at this moment, I mean a Fever player at this moment, definitely got some solid voters just off that hype as well. But Kelsey Mitchell is a hooper. They have to figure out a thing in which they want to punch is not Clark and Boston, but it's Clark and Mitchell. If they can keep these two folks on the team and hooping, my goodness. I saw a tweet the other day, and if I could find it, I would try to look for it. But I don't even know if it was a tweet. It might have been a thread. But it was somebody who said they went to the Aces versus Fever game, and they were like, they got to figure out how to get some Kelsey Mitchell off the team. And I'm telling you, that's a bad mistake. You got to figure out how to play with Kelsey Mitchell, because what you essentially get reminds me of LeBron and D Wade in Miami. You get a situation in which you get Caitlin Clark, who can do it all, score, assist, rebound, and then you get Kelsey Mitchell, who is a solid bucket. So Caitlin Clark becomes LeBron, Kelsey Mitchell becomes D Wade, and Aaliyah Boston is Chris Bosh. You get a big three. Here go another thing that I think is important to say, is that now that this all-star team has been put together, as a Caitlin Clark fan, you can no longer say that she just don't have a good team. You can't have a bad team and essentially you got 3 All-Stars on your team. You can't. You can't make that excuse as that the team ain't what it is. You got 3 All-Stars on your team. 2-time All-Star in Aaliyah Boston, 2-time All-Star in Kelsey Mitchell, and then you got Caitlin Clark, first-time All-Star. Three All-Stars. No other team on here got 2 people, if I'm looking at this correct. Angel Reese the only one. Out of Seattle, only one. I can't even tell you. Only one. Now over here you get some double ups. Mercury. You got New York, and you got Aces. But outside of that, they got 3 All-Stars. Now you can cut across here and go 2 for 2, but you don't even get the cross play on All-Stars. There ain't even another Mercury player over here on All-Star. Okay, Mercury got 3 folks over here. I'm just saying. That's my thoughts on it. Let me go back here. Damn, did I go back? I got an idea for a video that I mentioned. I feel like I did it on TikTok, but I did not do it here, and I want to. And it's my theory that Caitlin Clark has the notoriety that she has. She's a hooper for sure. But the reality is she's a Nike athlete. If Caitlin Clark would have had the same college career at Louisville? Is Louisville a Nike school? Let me look it up. Adidas. So I thought. If she was at Louisville, I'm not going to say you would never have heard of her, but if she was at Louisville, she would not be the most popular player in women's basketball. And here's how I can tell you that for sure. Let me do this. It's because the person who won that same scoring title that everybody's so hyped about is this young lady here. Kelsey Plum. And if you look at what school Kelsey Plum went to, you got the University of Washington, another Adidas school. And one of the coolest things about Kelsey Plum is obviously she led the NCAA in scoring while she was in college. But she also set the scoring record while she was in college. And the crazy part about her whole rise is that when she set that scoring record, it was in this game here, in which she scored 57 points in order to break it. She went into the game needing 54 points and scored 57. That's a story. If she was wearing Nikes while she did this, I'm lying. She is wearing Nikes. Look, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Really, it's not even just the shoes. It's the NIL. if she would have been able to have this Nike deal while this was going down, she would have been, they would have been turned up. You wouldn't even know Caitlin Clark because Kelsey Plum would have been that girl. Even though she already is champion and all of that stuff, but Caitlin Clark would have been off the branch of Kelsey Plum as opposed to Caitlin Clark having her own tree. Wow, wow, wow. So yeah, it's just interesting. But this was a crazy game, though. Let me pull this back up. 57 points to secure the all-time scoring record. That's crazy work. That's crazy, crazy work. Let me see. All right. One other thing that I definitely wanted to talk about while we on the live is, oh Lord, is, let's see. Your boys, the Ball brothers, Jello and Zoe, got their own podcast. And it's solid. I have watched a little bit of it. I probably need to watch a little bit more. And I would love to be able to react to some of these clips and pull some of these notable conversations out and all of that stuff. I'll see if I can. You know, it's something that's funny that I feel like I don't think a lot of people even know or realize, but a lot of the content that I've done over the years has been following the rise and plateau, I would say, more than fall of the Ball family, but the rise of the Ball family. And in that journey that I believe they're all still on. But like, even whenever they had the Ball in the Family show, like, I never really watched a ton of it. And I never really watched a ton of it because I feel like, one, I had already talked about this dynamic so much that, like, being consumed by the show was just, it would have been too much, for one. But then for me, I feel like I was always more enamored by kind of what they stood for than like the day-to-day of everything, right? And so I never really tapped in too much with that show outside of the ones in which might have been featured in when it was with the JBA. I watched all of those episodes just to see myself on there. And I really might need to go back and download those episodes just in case they ever, for some reason, get missing from the internet. I have those on my channel. But so I have watched a few clips of this, and I do think it's really entertaining. I think that they set it up in a way that is like, okay, we finna do a real podcast. I do think that even in the first ones, I think I saw this first one here, where they were preparing it to be essentially like an all vertical situation, which I thought, like, okay, that's interesting. Y'all trying to be cutting edge. And then I think that the comments was like, yo, bro, give us full screen, please. And they went away from it right away. But had they had kind of stayed into this, or not even like went, not even put out the full podcast and video like this, but then chopped it, that would have been interesting to see as well. So, but it's interesting. If you haven't watched this podcast, go check them out. They're solid. They're good. But shoot, man. It's your main man, AB the Hero. I'm about to get up out of here. We back. First live stream back for a minute. I don't know how I got so hot, man. I'm over here sweating like a pig. Let me see what my man here say. I'm a CC fan. They both have their faults, but overall, it's good for the league to have a rivalry and both bring fans to watch. I don't like the racism argument it brings up, though. Facts. I don't. I don't. I think the racism angle that happens is a little bit played out as well. It's just tough though because I think like the other day, Aja Wilson, who is the best player in women's basketball, one of the top comments was about how she's really good but just not marketable. And when you look at typically what is marketable, it's personality, it's game, it's all of the things. It's being an exciting player. And so if you've watched AJ Wilson or like even seen her talk or interact, she checks all of the boxes for what we would consider to be marketable. And all of the replies to that comment though was about how she may not be marketable to certain races or groups, ethnic groups, but she definitely is marketable, which is why last year was the highest vote getter in the All Star game, and this year also second in most votes to Caitlin Clark. But I don't like. I wish that was not part of the narrative, right? Because then when it comes to Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, that then begins to take over the conversation of like why do people like and why don't people like each player. And I think where it does come up and becomes like a legitimate conversation is just a response to a lot of the different things, like the nitpicking of it. Like you say here, both players have their faults, and then when one group starts to find, here's what I'll tell you, their rivalry reminds me a lot of this epiphany that I got from the Kobe Bryant after he passed away. And prior to Kobe's passing, I was a fan, but at a distance, because I was primarily a LeBron fan. And would often get into the debate of why is LeBron better than Kobe Bryant? And when you're trying to have that debate, you start to nitpick really small things that that gives the other person an edge or one up. And you start to diminish greatness. And so after Kobe passed, I felt like hurt because I never got to that place in which I had opportunity to really celebrate his greatness while he was still alive. Once he passed and folks started acknowledging the Mamba mentality, and then the whole Kobe versus LeBron thing kind of took a back seat for a while, and it was all about like how great Kobe was. And so I had tons of great things to say about Kobe that I had probably never said before because I was trying to champion LeBron. And I feel like that was a shift that happened across the culture. Now, the weird part is it's been a while and you start to see the like, hold on, don't forget Kobe, we didn't like him. Debates starting to come back up, but I think that shifted the culture for a lot of people. And so I am cognizant of that when I'm watching Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark to appreciate the game that that they both have. Because I live in Indianapolis, and so I've been to a few Fever games where I've gotten to watch Caitlin Clark hoop, and she is talented. She is a gamer. You can watch her on court and you can see right away that she's different than everybody else on court. She got the handle, She can shoot it if she gets space, and her passing ability reminds me of Lonzo Ball for sure. That whole all you got to do is run, and she's gonna get you the ball is amazing. But then when you watch Angel Reese, you see something in her game that is like great as well. It's not as flashy, it's not the 3 point shot, but it's a level of heart and tenacity that she brings to the court that you know that if she's out there, it's going to be a game. And so the game that I went to, they both played here in Indianapolis, and the Fever ended up winning, but Angel Reese showed up. And don't she don't have the greatest package, but she looked like one of the best players on the court. And one of the things that definitely speaks to me is that I hear people all the time talk about Caitlin Clark's teammates and when she throw that long pass and they can't catch it. And there's one play, I think it was the Fever game versus the Sky, but it was in Chicago where essentially Angel Reese is running down the court. It's three Fever players on her, and she damn near one hand catch it and go up and score. And I'm like, if Caitlin Clark had that on her team, she would have 15 assists a game. And so there's something there that she has that other WNBA players do not have as well, which is why she is probably on pace to be the greatest rebounder in WNBA history, especially as a rookie. So it's interesting takes there. Let me pull this one up here. It's called either side. Their player can't do no wrong. Laugh out loud. In my opinion, CC complains a little too much, and Reese is a dirty player. But they got me and my wife watching WNBA, so that's a good thing. It's a fact. They definitely got people watching. I would not say that Reese is a dirty player. I don't think she's a dirty player. I think she's passionate. I think that in that statement right there is the microcosm of where the race debates come in at. Is because you have one who complains too much, and then you get the other one who is a dirty player. And so historically, folks would say obviously, right? If you had two players who walked into a room, you look at one is Karen, who complains too much, and then you get the dirty one who's ratchet. Like those fit into racial stereotypes across the board, and then that's where that comes in. So that's where that happens, as opposed to saying they're both competitive. And so Caitlin is complaining too much because she's trying to win, and Reese is having these plays that may be considered dirty because she's competitive and is trying to win. And so that's where I feel like a lot of that comes from, is because folks have a hard time stepping back and then just analyzing it for what it could be, and not trying to make it something that it's not, right? I don't think that we've seen a ton of dirty plays from Angel Reese. And I think that if you compare the amount of complaining that Caitlin Clark does to LeBron James, she's not even close to complaining too much. Or NBA. That's one of the things that make it hard for me to watch the NBA. It's every time somebody drives to the basket, they end up doing this. If they don't get a call, the first thing, everybody do the hands out, looking at the ref, and I'm like, bro, get back on defense, play ball. And so, yeah, that's what's up, man. I appreciate that though, Eric Schaefer. I appreciate the commentary right there. But let me see. Did I get to everything I said I was going to talk about today? Let's pull up here. I read. I think so. So I'm gonna get up off here, man. I appreciate everybody tapping in. I gotta get my flavor and my swaver back when it comes to You know what I'm saying? Posting on the YouTube and all of that stuff. I'm definitely behind on that, man. And haven't posted in a while, but we'll see. I got some ideas for content. I just gotta execute. What's up with Jello? Aren't you tapped in? I don't, man. You know, I should probably reach out and see what's up. I have not like just reached out to folks. Like I said, man, I kind of been out of the way. I was up in Cali last in February and I talked to LeVar and them, but it was before he went to Mexico. So I heard her go to Mexico. That's what's coming up next. That's what's coming next. And then obviously he went to Mexico and then ended. All right, so I don't know, but I'll do some research and maybe we'll get back to that in the video, because I do know Jello is looking to play again. I think I did see this. I skimmed through the last podcast they had because it said big announcement from Jello, and I thought, oh shoot, he about to announce he playing somewhere, and the announcement ended up being that he was having another child. So congrats to him on that. I know that from being out there just talking to LeVar, man, they love that little boy that he got right now, and so I know that they gonna love this new baby as well. Let me see. Let me get back to this. Let's see what this one here. How's Bronny going to address his father if he has an open on a play? Laugh out loud. I think that the dynamic between Bronny and LeBron deserves a last chance, or not a last chance, a last dance style documentary, because I would love to see them mic'd up and see and hear how LeBron deals with Bronny. And I think for two reasons. Is because I think that Bronny, there's an inherent power dynamic that happens when you join a LeBron team, period, right? But if you also join a LeBron team as LeBron's son, how many times you think a player has been on LeBron's team and had to tell LeBron, hey, I am not your son. You can't talk to me like that. And Bronny having to say, I am your son, but you can't talk to me like that. And then LeBron having to say, bruh, you're my son, and you probably only on this team because I put the call in. And yeah, you got the guaranteed contract, but bruh, like that, you could be gone. The dynamics between them two is going to be shaky. It's going to be shaky for sure. However, I do believe that Bron, I imagine, has thought about a ton of this and is prepared to handle the Bronny situation with very delicate gloves, and it will address a lot of that stuff, right? Because imagine this. You on the team with LeBron and y'all in the locker room and you like, damn, LeBron could have went a little bit harder, right? I just imagine that there's some locker rooms that LeBron has been in which folks on the team have not been 100% happy with LeBron for some reason. And they're having that conversation, and you can no longer have that with the young buck because he definitely telling his dad on y'all. So it's a lot to watch with that situation. All right, let me see. If Lonzo could play a little on that knee and sign for cheap with the Hornets after this season and help the shoes back up on Summer League, that would be insane. I think that would be crazy. Speak on it. What's the link, AB? I think it would be crazy if Lonzo ended up in Charlotte. And to be honest, let me say that. I take that back. I don't think it would be crazy. I think that if he was going to sign a deal on a discount, I can't imagine a world in which they would not. Or they would not allow him to come and play with LaMelo. And so it's interesting there. Let me see. My man, Music Mindset 702. I want to speak on it. What's the link? Let me see. I might be able to shoot you a link for a second. Let me post this link here. Zoka pose. I'd be a Laker again. He is. I'm interested to see how many teams willing to take Zoe without watching him play initially. All right, the link in the chat. Jump in there if you want, and then we're gonna slide off here. Man, I wish the boy Lonzo could come back. Because one of the things that I just remember that time, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso coming off the bench. And I remember one of the greatest debates all times is folks just believing that Lonzo was not having the impact on that team as a lot of people thought that they were. And when Lonzo went down, a lot of the people who thought that his presence didn't matter realized that he might have been the glue that was. All right, let me see. We got. Let's assign to a guest one. All right, let me see. I'm going to try. Guess in the green room. All right, let me see some. We got a guest on the panel right now. Let me try to. All right. Let me do this. Hold on, I slip into preview mode. Hello? I don't know how to. Hello?
Hey B, what's good?
What's happening? What's happening?
What's the word, man? What's good with you, man? It's been a minute, man. I haven't seen you on. Well, you probably been on, but I've been so crazy busy, man.
No, man, I haven't been on, man. It's truly been a minute for sure.
Oh, really? Damn, man.
Yep.
Bro, I want to ask you something, B. I want to ask you a question, man, because you've been doing this for a minute. I've been checking you out for a while now. Man, I want to ask you a question, man. With all that's going on with sports, man, how do you? And I hate to come on here asking you a question, but how do you feel about what's all going on with sports with the Angel Reese, the Caitlyn, the LeBron, the Bronny, just everything, man?
Man, I truthfully, I think that here's what I think the money has always been a part of sports, but I think like even more now than ever, the money is a huge part of sports. right? So
Um,
if you think about the Caitlin Clark thing, right? The beginning of the season when she wasn't playing good, people said for the first time ever in the history of sports, what y'all need to do is let her have some good games to appease the fan base, right? You never heard anybody say just let somebody win a couple. Don't play hard defense on them just to make sure the audience is prepared. If you go back just a couple years ago, when Lonzo Ball had the eyes of the world watching him in the big baller brand, nobody ever said this is perfect and the NBA needs to let Lonzo be successful. What they all said was you putting a target on his back and it's going to be so hard for him when he gets to the league because people going to want to knock him down. We did not see that. We didn't see that with Caitlin Clark. And the reason why and the justification was you got now more eyes on it than ever, and money is a thing. And my whole thing with Caitlin Clark is I think that she's an unbelievably talented, but I think that her notoriety stems from being signed to Nike as a college athlete in the NIL era, in which I remember if you told anybody go do a Caitlin Clark shot right now on the court, they gonna go to the back to the logo and step to the, you know what I mean, like a fadeaway 3-pointer and knock it down. And it's just gonna be the same shot that we saw on the commercial, the same shot that they put on the billboard, the same shot that we saw on commercial after commercial after commercial, on highlight after highlight. And you just see a lot of money behind that with Nike. The same way back in time, we saw Nike take the NBA by storm with Jordan. They're doing that right now with Caitlin Clark. And so it's on the other side of that, when you look at Angel Reese, there's a whole nother who are willing to go. My pick was Caitlin Clark jerseys, and they sold out immediately. And then folks was like, dang, I wanted to get an Angel Reese jersey. And immediately, and 5 days later, they had them up on the Sky website ready to go as well. And so, I don't know. I think it's just a lot of it's about money. You think of Bronny in the Lakers, that's a historic franchise. They got one of the greatest players of all time there. And so he is maybe not Bronny. I don't believe Bronny is getting people to buy tickets. All right. I don't think he wasn't selling out high school games the same way the Ball brothers was selling out high school games. But LeBron James is selling out arenas. And if this is his last year or second to last year, you think about what happened with Kobe, and you have a failed world tour, like the sales is going to go up. The ticket prices to the Lakers is going to go up. And all they need to do is have LeBron's last season there. And so if you're going to make that much money, it makes sense to sign a Bronny to your team. You know what I mean? It's always been a business, but it's more business now than ever.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, man, and I'm a sports fanatic, bro. My uncles, my friends, we all do the sports, man, from boxing, football, basketball, man. We love sports, man. And at this point, man, in my mind, I'm like, it's just it done got too messy, man, too gossipy. It's a turn off, man. But one thing, I'm enjoying watching Caitlin play through the good and the bad. I'm enjoying watching Angel Reese play through the good and the bad. I mean, I was a Candace Parker fan, man. My brother used to train Kim Perrott when she was in college. So, I mean, I've been a fan of the women's basketball, bro. But with the Caitlin situation, man, I was listening to what you're saying, and I heard that throughout the internet and also on TV. Hey, man, what people don't realize is that Caitlin don't want to be catered to. Caitlin want to play ball. She's been fighting through it. She's been going through the fouls and the talking of this. She don't run from the media. I mean, she's a true professional. And I
Yeah.
don't think they should let her win no games and all that, man. That's stupid, man. To the maximum of stupidness.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This bitch, bro. When she can't score, she make her players better. She
Yeah.
passed the ball. Everybody want to see her shoot a logo three, a 3-pointer. Man, Caitlin passing that ball so beautiful till it's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm just enjoying seeing every game what she's actually gonna do. I've never been that, excited to see a player because I'm a Kobe Bryant fan, die-hard
Mm-hmm.
Kobe Bryant fan. It's all in my studio in here. And I've never been excited in a minute until LaMelo and Lonzo. That's my favorite players, bro. That's my
Mm-hmm.
guy. You know what I'm saying? Hands down, that's my guys. And I could go in a whole big rant about those boys because I love those boys so much. But with the Caitlin Clark thing, this is what people don't realize. And people really need to stop, man, and think for a minute. AB is 350 million people in this country, brother.
Yep.
350 million people in this country. Not everybody is watching NBA, NFL, and WNBA. 350 million people. Think about it, bro. Think about that. Bro, how many people watch the Super Bowl? Do you know?
Well, I would say it's a decent amount.
Not no
Millions.
60, not no 80 million.
Mm-hmm.
AB is 350 million people in this country. My point is this, man. With Caitlin Clark, I see a lot of people like, oh, they're gonna stop watching, and no, they're not. This is what's going on, man. If people really watching the games and really seeing what's going on and using their brain, right? Caitlin Clark fan base is young girls and boys from 5 on up to 18 years old, bro. They're
Mm-hmm.
at the games, want autographs, buying the jersey. Hey, man, one thing about kids, their parents gonna reward them. True parenting is gonna reward their kids. You want to go to a game, you want a jersey. Let's get the WNBA app. If you can't go to the game, you can still watch it. Man, she has a kid friendly fan base. All these grown folks running their mouth online and in the comments and on the Twitter and this and that, making this young lady look like she's racist and she got a racist fan base. Look, bro, it's 65% white people in this country. There's 65% white people in this country, bro. That's
Mm-hmm.
the percentage. All right. So they're gonna. I mean, if even if they hear about it, and she's playing in Indiana, the girl, hey man, she listen. I'm in Vegas, bro. She came and broke records here in Vegas, man. 22,000, 22,000 people in that arena, man. It hasn't been like that since 1993. They said, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, now they own McNutt, the ESPN host, about what she said about her pick for MVP is the team who wins the most. Cool, that's her opinion, man. That's if that's what she want to say, but they trolling her heavy. I got my pulse on everything when it comes to stuff online. And look, man, she's one of many opinions, man. If her vote is gonna go to Angel for that, I don't have no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Angel is a pretty good player, man. But am
Mm-hmm.
I gonna watch all Angel games? Probably not. Honestly, am I gonna watch CC play? Probably will. Because I like her game. It don't have nothing to do with black and white or nothing. I just like her game. I like watching Steph Curry play. I like watching LaMelo shoot it from four. I like watching Lonzo making his teams better, his players better. I just like that type of ball. But I will watch
Mm-hmm.
Angel. So at the end of the day, man, wow, look at this.
Man, I miss
AB,
you.
what
Say that. Say that last part again. You said at the end of the day, and then I kind of got to cut off from you for a
yeah,
second.
yeah, they had the big thing online about Caitlyn not going to the Olympics. She should
Mm-hmm.
have been going to the Olympics. To be honest with you, my personal opinion, just my personal opinion, I don't think she should have gone for many
Yeah.
reasons. One reason is if she's gonna go, are the players gonna embrace her, man? Man, look, man, mental health is a thing right now, bro, in this society we live in, bro. I have
Mm-hmm.
one of my friends who work in a big warehouse out in Louisiana, man, and he's going through mental health, man, with the heat in the warehouse. It's a lot of stuff going on, man, and I don't think, hey, man, Caitlin speaks into that mic. She talks a lot, but one thing I wish she would have said was, "Listen, I didn't get picked. You know what I'm saying? And listen, hopefully next 4 years I get picked." But then a coach come out and say that's motivation and man, Chris Sias need to go sit down number one, bro. You know, and Caitlin actually playing against man, not only five of the other teams, but man, she's playing with man probably eight people, man, because yo, a lot of her teammates smiling in her face, man. But I've seen a lot of cutting eyes and whispering. I watch these games real close, man. And for
Yep.
that young lady to endure all what she's enduring, man. And I'm not saying, oh, poor Caitlin. No, man, it is what it is, bro. AB, I was in four different singing groups in my life and time, bro. And I've seen how when crowds cheer for one and the girls on one, how brothers be hating and jealous, man. That's
Mm-hmm.
just natural, bro. Kaylin got a basketball. She got a shoe. She got Gatorade. Man, that's three of the biggest endorsements brands you could ever get, bro.
Yeah.
The biggest. So and now they talking about. I seen something yesterday. They doing a documentary on Rakia, Kate. I mean, Angel Reese. Um, the girl from
Cardoza.
that plays Cardoza and the girl that came from Connecticut.
Mm-hmm. Mule.
They're doing it now. They're in an uproar about that. And my thing is with my boys at the barbershop, I said, look, man, Caitlin can be on that documentary even if she wanted to. Bro, Caitlin gotta have her own documentary, bro. Angel Reese should have her own documentary because they did so many big things. If you document from high school, all right, when they played in the Olympics, all the way through college, now in the WNBA, man, Angel should have her own documentary herself, bro. Caitlyn can't be on a documentary with Ford. They could. It's a lot of editing, but her
Mm-hmm.
fans want the best of her documentary. You know what I'm saying? And when
Yep.
you shooting documentary, you gotta pick and choose anyway. So, man, it's like it's a lot of negativity on this internet about these young ladies, and
Yeah.
I think it could really come to rest if Angel could lay all that to rest, bro. If Angel would speak up and say, "Look," because Angel, she always shooting little shots at this young lady. But
Mm-hmm.
when I seen they took that picture in New York for the rookies, she was so behind Caitlyn for that photo op.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
she could simmer that down, bro. All she got to do is say, "Look, Kaylin is a great player. You know, we're rookies. We're doing great things for the league. And listen, I got nothing but respect for Caitlin. You know, I mean, she
Yeah.
could, but she always shooting shot. Is she want to win that? I promise you this, AB, and I'll come back on whenever it happens. If Angel Reese win this Rookie of the Year, watch how her story change about Caitlin Clark. Watch how she starts showing love. I promise you, man.
Yeah. Man, you know what? Here's what I can tell you, because I live here in Indiana where the Fever play, and
Hmm.
so I know some people who know some people who are like really close with folks on the team, and
Hmm.
from their perspective, what they have kind of realized that I think like gets overlooked from the fans is that everybody endures a lot because of Caitlin Clark, right? So what I
Right.
mean by that is Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark is a centerpiece and a highlight, and everybody love her, right? But there is a
Hmm.
small corner of the internet who is like who doesn't want to see her win, right? Who is hating and negative on her, right? But there's a
Hmm.
larger part that wants to see her win at all costs. And
Hmm.
that part that shows her a ton of love
Hmm.
does not share that love with everybody who's close to her. So if you think about, if there's a million people who like Caitlin Clark and how hard people go for her, when she throws a pass and somebody don't finish the assist, 200,000 of those million people then go to that person and say, you're trash, you're terrible, and we don't like you because you did that. And so some of these people, it's not that they don't like Caitlin Clark or they don't want to see her shine. They just realize that all of those eyes means that their life is much harder. So when you talk about mental health, it becomes the mental health of everybody else. So like, let's say even Angel Reese. Angel Reese could have, let's say she got 200,000 fans of people who support her and show her love. Caitlin Clark on the other side got 3 million fans who are tapped in. And so when some shit go down, the 3 million fans then is in Angel Reese's DMs about how trash and ghetto and X, Y, and Z she is. And so even if I like you or I don't even know you or don't have an opinion about you, I then have a little bit of resentment, not because you're winning or you're getting hype, but because there is a strong contingent of the hardest part of my life then comes because people don't want to see me be good because they worried about you. You know what I'm saying? I think that is what happens for a lot of these players. So a lot of the cutting eyes and a lot of the resentment and taking shots is not necessarily taking shots at her. It's taking shots at the people in your DMs. It's I can only imagine that Angel Reese's DMs on a nightly basis is filled with hate. Like, and not just regular hate, like, man, you missed the shot. I was talking to some people the other day about the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark debate, like in real life conversation, not online. And what they said is her eyelashes. I don't like the way that her you know what I mean? Like they just went to her physical appearance as being a part of the reason why they just don't like her. And I imagine like that feeds up her inbox. And so I think that's part of it. And then another thing that folks, and it's closer to your point of like some of that, another thing that I think people close to her witness is that for the longest time, the WNBA has not necessarily gotten all of the love and attention that they're getting now and the eyeballs, right? So imagine a fan shows up and they want your autograph. For 99% of WNBA players, that's a big day. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I walk out the building and you've been sitting here for 2 hours because I'm your favorite player and I want your autograph, then like I'm gonna sign it. If you think about Caitlin Clark, she been experiencing that level of like fandom for a long time. And so yes, I think that there are people who have witnessed her not be as appreciative of her spotlight and shine as people think you could be or should be. And rightfully so. It's like it's the equivalent of like if LeBron was walking down the street tomorrow, and I was like, LeBron, could you sign my jersey? And he ignored me. I would say, of course he ignored me. It's LeBron. He don't know who I am. But now if James Bouknight from the Hornets a couple years ago is coming down the street and I'm like, James Bouknight, I recognize you, man. He probably gonna stop and say, hey, man, I'm surprised I got people in. Let me sign you. You know what I'm saying? Or I would be like, damn, James Bouknight, he acting like he too good to sign an autograph. He ain't even in the league like that no more. You know what I'm saying? It's just that. I think that's also a part of the conversation, or not the conversation, but that's a part of the experience that other people are having around her. And I think that it is it is like reflected in their responses to her at times. And I think that another thing that I heard from people is that the internet feels like she has it hard and like people are not supporting her, but she realizes that she has the key to the city, right? So the fans are like, yo, man, why they treating you like that? But if she says we need private jets because I got too many people trying to get autographs, and they go give her a private jet, then she feels like, oh, what I say go. You know what I'm saying? So like her experience is much different than I think what a lot of people else think that she's experiencing. In Indianapolis right now, she could go sit in any restaurant in the city and would not have to pay a dime. She could walk through these streets for days and not experience one person who is a hater. When the Pacers, they play in the same arena that the Pacers play in, and I went to the Fever game, and it was a Fever versus Sky game in Clark, and legitimately it's packed. It looks like a Pacer playoff game. It was so packed. And the prices were priced as such as well. Maybe not maybe not a playoff game, but it's priced like a Pacer game. But even in that arena, and this is also, I think, and I'm gonna wrap it here and let you respond or give your thoughts on this. But what I was there and I was like trying to keep a tally. And what I realized is that obviously it's in Indiana, so 99% of the people in the building were Fever fans, and 80% of them, more than just Fever fans, were Caitlin Clark fans. But there was some Chicago Sky fans in the building with their jerseys on or their Chicago Sky t-shirts. And the interesting part was every last one of the Chicago Sky fans that I saw, except for one dude, and he was blind, was black. Every Chicago Sky fan at the Fever game here in Indiana was black, except for one white guy who was blind. And so I think to me also that adds to the bit of the racial dynamic. However, now the Fever fans was all shades and colors, and it was black folks and white folks and all of that stuff. But so I don't know. It's a lot that goes into it, but it's I do think that it's steeped in money. You said it earlier. There's just in this country there are more white folks than there are black folks, and so stand a chance to. But that's also like it's the truth, but it also like points out kind of like some systemic issues with our country is that we don't see you as simply American. We see you based on your skin color. And like you think that if you're an American hooper, it wouldn't matter if you were white or black, right? But it matters on both sides. There's a reason why Angel Reese has a 80% black audience, and there's a reason why when she talks, I saw a video when she's talking to a young girl the other day, and she was like, and has said this for a while, I'm playing for the girls who look like me, who feel like me, who look at me and say, oh, if she could do it, I can do it. And so it's there is a racial component to it, even though you hate to see it.
But AB, Candace Parker, Lisa Leslie, everybody, they could have all said the same thing. Cheryl Swoops when she was playing, Cynthia Cooper.
Yeah.
I mean, Angel Reese just saying it out loud, but they were all playing for young players. Man, Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker, they all inspired players that came up behind them.
Facts.
Asia Wilson and everybody, man. So, you know, man, the black and white thing, man, I'm at a point where I'm just like, come on. Bro, I'm from the South, man. I am from the South.
Yeah.
I know what race. My dad passed when he was 96 years old, bro. I heard the stories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But am I going to walk around with that No, man, my neighbors are white, older white people, Asian. And hey, man, thank God. We get along. There's love there. I understand this race, what I'm saying, racist things going on in this country, man. But with Angel saying I'm praying for young girls, we get it, Angel. We
Yeah.
get it. And say that and speak on it. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, man. You the Bayou Barbie. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's like so many issues with so many things, bro. All I want to do, AB, I just want to watch a good game.
Yep.
That's it. I don't care who playing. I want to watch a good tomorrow. The Liberty and the Fever play. I'm gonna watch a good game.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to get the WNBA out. I got it to support
Mm-hmm.
them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
hey, man, just like with Lonzo and LaMelo. Hey, man, let me tell you something, man. Lonzo went through a lot as a Laker. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you something, bro. I don't know if you notice and you watch close. That's your people. But I'm gonna tell you that Kyle Kuzma was a sneak hating guy, bro, on Lonzo on that team, bro. He was LeBron's little puppet. You know what I'm saying? I've seen many times, you know what I'm saying, on the bench, he laughing and Lonzo do. Bro, I've seen it a lot of times, bro. A lot of times. And let me tell you, Lonzo made Kyle Kuzma look like a star in Summer League, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was because of Lonzo. Lonzo. Hey, man, I'm going to always say this on different shows I've been on. George Carl wanted Denver Nuggets, I'm sorry, to draft Lonzo. And he said, why? Because Lonzo make players better.
Yep.
Lonzo is a true point guard, man. Those kids, Lonzo and LaMelo just have it, man. They just got it. That's why I'm praying and I'm hoping Lonzo come back healthy. You know what I'm saying? Because bro, they was the reason why I watched basketball, man.
Yep.
LaMelo and Lonzo. When Lonzo stopped, I watched LaMelo. When LaMelo was gone, man, I somewhat stopped watching basketball. I watched the
Yeah.
highlights, but I can't watch a full game of nobody else, man. But I can watch a full game of Lonzo and LaMelo.
Yeah. That's a
Because
fact.
people don't realize, and sports don't realize that when people take the time out of their life to watch you play, they're taking time out of their life to watch you play. I could
Yep.
be doing a lot of different things, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when I watch it, man, I want to see if they call themselves a team. I want to see love. I want to see unity. I don't want to see jealousy on the team and hatefulness on the team, bro. I've seen that a lot, man. I've seen that so much, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Clay leaving the Warriors. I was disappointed with that, but I understand the business because I'm in the music industry. I understand the business. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy for Clay. He going somewhere where he can win a championship with Kyrie and Luka because they probably would have won it if they had Clay this year. Because all they was missing was a shooter. Because now Clay is a shooter. Now you gotta play that 1-on-one. You can't double team Kyrie and Luka. Now you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Now them
Yep.
boys can go to work because they know Clay is a shooter. So what you think about Buddy Hill going to the Warriors? What you think about that move?
Oh, I love it, man. I saw that the other day, man, and I was thinking I was like, damn, they got one. Cause
Yeah.
Buddy was here in Indiana for a while, and I think that he is one of those dudes who obviously has been known as a shooter for a while now, and so for that team, that's exactly what they need. You know what I'm saying? Like what
Mhm.
I assumed his ceiling to be, I don't think that he ever really hit that ceiling. But I think for his game, if he was ever going to do it, it would be in that offense. Right? He's
Yeah.
somebody who, you know what I mean? The same way Clay could light it up, I feel like he could get hot and light it up too if given the right opportunity. So I'm
He's definitely going to have the confidence, and he only thing he has to work on the consistency. He
yeah.
has to be consistent, and I think Steve Kerr and Steph, Draymond, I think they're gonna bring the best out of him. I think he's
Yeah.
gonna go there and I think he's gonna light it up, man. I hope he does. Kaminga, I think Kaminga is just I think maybe he may be better this year, being that Clay is not there and he gonna get his minutes and he know the responsibility is in his hands to do what he need to do. And I just think he's immature at this point though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I think he needs to break out of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's kind of too wild on the court for me, man. He like a
Yeah.
wild card. He remind me of Jordan Poole in some form and fashion, man. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we'll see, man. But man, thanks for talking, man. Thanks for talking, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep doing your thing, AB.
Likewise, man. I appreciate you jumping on here, man. For sure. Appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, for sure, man. We'll catch up. Yes, indeed, brother.
All right. All right. My man Craig Boson in the chat. What's happening, Craig? Hey, shout out to Music Mindset 702. I appreciate you jumping on here and chatting some really good points for sure. Let me see. My man Eric Schaefer say switch up to Bron and Bronny real quick. Yeah, I want to play this one clip. It's a guy on YouTube, Legend of Winning. You familiar with him? And I was watching this video from him, and it was from probably a month before the draft, a month ago. So the draft was last week or the week or so ago. And so his whole concept was Bronny is not an NBA player. The whole concept of the video. And to me, I was kind of like, I was trying to figure out where he was going because most of the video was him just kind of regurgitating some things. But he played this clip of Kendrick Perkins and Kendrick Perkins challenging the folks on ESPN, the Ramona Shelburnes and et cetera, about how why are they going so hard covering a second round 55th pick of the draft. And his whole thought process was, I've never heard us go this hard in covering a player this late in the draft before. And they said, what is to be assumed is that we're doing this because LeBron James is his dad. And that storyline is interesting and is worth talking about. And then, so why I bring up the Legend of Winning clip and not just a Kendrick Perkins call out is that he pinpointed this narrative that has consistently been talked about within the NBA and even within the last year's draft, is that who are the personalities, who are the new faces of the league, who are the people who we are talking about and building them up and crafting this narrative around. And there is not many, right? If you look at this last year's draft, there's some names that we know. Zach Edey from Purdue, your boy with the nails painted from Duke, Connect. Yeah, folks, essentially a lot of people who had really good tournaments this year. So we know a lot of those storylines. But if ESPN decided to find some characters to promote and highlight and build up, we would have folks who we understood, right? This harkens back to our WNBA conversation earlier this year where, what's her name, Monica McNutt, people were on her head because she challenged Stephen A. Smith when he's talking about, like, I'm the one who talks a lot about it. Nobody talk about WNBA as much as I do on this First Take. And she's like, yeah, but you could have been doing this years ago. And so when I always go to the Caitlin Clark Nike conversation, I go there because I think to myself, historically, like my man Music Minds was talking about, there has been hoopers within the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Kelsey Plum, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird. Like, historically, there are names that we know a ton about or have heard at least, but we don't know their story in the way that we know Caitlin Clark's story. And so I think when we go to the Bronny discussion, what becomes interesting to me is how can you find a way to tell a story about Bronny, but then also tell a story about all of these other guys, right? Bronny's a 55th pick, but what if we learned a little bit about the 56th pick? What if we learned a little bit about the 54th pick? What if we learned about 20 picks ahead of that? I don't know. To me, I think there's just so much opportunity to even draw some parallels and wrap Bronny into a story that's essentially maybe about somebody else that would help the overall hype of the league. Let me see. I wanted Hornets to draft Connect. Crazy he fell to 17. W Lakers though. Facts. They needed a shooter. I will say I watched. I think I was at the game. Was it Tennessee versus Purdue? I believe. And one thing that he did not do that I feel like he needed to do is drive to the basket a little bit more in that game. If he'd have got to the rim, they would have had a greater chance. But man, I'm getting ready to hop off here. I appreciate y'all who tapped in with me. We gotta do this again. I'm gonna hop back on here, maybe get y'all a little bit better SEO next time as well. And all of that jazz, man. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I appreciate everybody who slammed the like button and all of that stuff. It's your main man, AB the Hero. We shall return and we shall overcome. All right, Eric Schaefer, appreciate you, man, for tapping in and dropping comments and all of that stuff and keeping the chat popping. Well, we getting up out of here. All right, peace. All right, let me do this.
Be the hero. No, not peace. +1, triple B's. We out.